what my apartment looks like when you just enter my bedroom. You can kind of hear my roommates downstairs, so sorry about that. My bathroom, not really gonna go into depth because it's not aesthetically pleasing, but I always put my shoes in the bathroom and I have a towel on the floor because I'm too cheap to buy a rug. But yeah, just regular toothbrush, soap, and boring stuff. But I put my shoes in the bathroom because I don't like them on the carpet because that's gross. So I have my fridge because I live with 4 other roommates and you can need a fridge sometimes. And I collect magnets, so I have a lot of magnets. And a Papa John's coupon sheet that they gave us when we moved in. Currently I have apples out here. My piggy bank I've gotten from my aunt who got it from India for my birthday. I don't see a lot of bugs actually in my apartment, but I still get bug spray right beside my bed just in case because I'm really afraid of bugs. So let me just pan over the room so you can kind of see what it looks like. I have my closet. It's pretty big mirror, which is good because like a built-in full-length mirror is the closet doors, and I also sometimes use it as a whiteboard because my motto is there's never a book long enough and a whiteboard big enough. So this is just some information because I am the president of the Black Educational Support Team, aka BEST, on my campus, and that was just some information on that. And I never got to finish watching If Beale Street Could Talk, so I put the timestamp there, and I'm gonna have to rush because I just realized my camera's running out of charge even though I never use it. So this is my newest poster. It's of Spider-Man, obviously, my favorite superhero. An Xbox 360 that I never use, but I took it from my sister. And this kettle I got from my cousin when she studied abroad in America, and she didn't want to bring back all of her furniture and kitchenware and stuff, so I got this kettle from her along with a bunch of dishware. This is an art assignment that I made for my art class this semester where we had to step and paint. And then I have a horror movie poster back here because I'm a horror fanatic. I have my Roku TV. All this furniture came with the apartment except for this shelf that I already had for like years, and I can do a bookshelf tour later when my camera's running out of charge. I have a Rocket notebook, and this is like the cloth that it came with to clean it. I got this from a book box. It's just decorative, there's nothing inside, along with this candle holder, but I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to light candles in our apartment, so it's also decorative. I made this little TARDIS out of a tea box, and I just keep my dry erase markers and stuff in there. Then I have my desk, a blanket I got for my birthday, and this fuzzy covering over my chair is actually a rug, but I thought it would be cuter over, like, you can't really tell, but the chairs aren't that nice, so I thought that would be a little bit more comfortable. I have my old laptop. I put tape over the camera because, I don't know, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but still, I just feel better that way because with all these Zoom meetings, I don't want to accidentally mess up and like have my camera on when I'm not ready. And then I have this lamp that also acts as a pen holder. These are my my erasable pens for my Rocket book, and then I have some pins and like a little stylus that I have no clue where I got it from, with some sticky notes and note cards back here, just scissors, pencils, pens. Over here, stapler, clips. I don't even know. This is a charger for like my headphones, and like just binder clips, more sticky notes, erasers, glue stick. I don't know why I keep a tape measure here. And this was when I was just tried a new shade of lipstick and I never done anything about it. I also have a book light right here that I usually keep by my bed, but I moved it here for an art assignment where you had to, it doesn't really matter, but it was for an art assignment. And then we have the window. I have my whiteboard that I keep all my classes on and my countdown to the end of the school year. Also with my to-do sheet, which I actually didn't check anything off of this, but I've actually done everything on that list, so I'm so happy. Except for the due later stuff, which is more stuff for the organization that I'm the president of. Then I have another whiteboard, like I said, never too many whiteboards, which is my goals for the month, which is more stuff for my organization, along with I have to write 25 pages by the end of the semester for one of my creative writing classes, so that's the 12.5 pages. Book finish I'm reading. I hope you get this message right now, and I hope to finish that by the end of October. I also keep my Bible close by and my record player, along with my Nintendo Switch, box of tissues, my water bottle, and just a journal and a pen, because you know when you wake up, that's when you have your most creative thoughts. And just a journal for fun. This shelf didn't come with the apartment. This is another thing I got from my cousin when she had to go back to England. But I got this dishware, which is also painted from another art assignment, and it's kind of the chip in it, but these are handy down dishware, so some of them are for my cousin, some of them are for my sister. But I bought this mug on my own, and I'm a big horror fanatic, so when I saw it at Walmart I had to get it. This was in a book box, and probably my favorite mug, along with the little stand it's on. It's also from like an Owl Crate book box, I think. I don't subscribe to them because I can't afford it, but on occasions I do treat myself to it, and I have gotten some for my birthday. A superhero mug again that I got from Walmart. And then I just keep my teas up here. This was also from like a Fairy Loot or Owl Crate box. It says silverware on the inside. It's in like a nice cute little pouch. Oops. I can do a more in-depth shelf tour later, but some books I have. I keep, this shelf used to be more out on display, so I wanted to keep my good hardcover books on the shelf, but now it's kind of in the corner, so it doesn't really matter. And some records I have. I also have a pillow on the bottom shelf that I sewed myself, and I use it to hold all the pins that I collect, because I also collect pins as well as magnets. And this also pin holder that I got from a Fairy Loot box. It's Percy Jackson, one of my favorite books from middle school, so I was really happy when we got that, because not only is it a pin holder, but it's Percy Jackson. I totally skipped over the fact I keep a cup of pens here. There are pens inside. There's only one dry erase marker inside, so it doesn't really make sense for that to hold the dry erase marker, so it's way over there, but I like it to be more on display than like in the corner of my window. So I just keep one black dry erase marker for this whiteboard, which I have for September and October. I have my work schedule. I have a meeting that I actually need to move this because the 4th passed, and our meeting is actually on the 11th, tomorrow. And I got payday marked. Yes, that's important. And then move on to the bed. The bed is like just a wire frame. It's like a really cheap mattress. I don't feel like pulling up the sheets, but it's like nothing. I don't even have like a mattress cover to really make it more comfortable because I don't really care. And I have a panda that my mom bought me a long time ago, and I made a little necklace from a broken chain that I had. And I got a long story behind how I got this blue thing, blue little heart pendant, and then an Agnes Scott charm that I put around it, because I really wanted to go to Agnes Scott, but it's a private school, so it's really expensive. So long story short, I did not go to Agnes Scott, if you couldn't tell already. And then Study Well, Be Well, we made at a university event, which was like a Build-A-Bear thing, and I built an elephant, and I named my panda Panda, and my elephant, the elephant, because I'm not creative with names. Also, I totally skipped over my little ottoman because I was sitting on it when I was showing you the shelf, and like I totally forgot. Where I have my little James Baldwin book that a friend gave me that I just keep by my bed to remind myself to read it, along with You Are an Artist, which is where I get all my art assignments from my art class. Everything's online, so she just posts like the page numbers, and then inside is kind of like my junk drawer where I have just headphones and extra sticky notes and junk. This should probably go in there too. I just keep it under my bed, which my mom got me this from Walmart. I have no clue how much it costs, but if you ever see it, I highly recommend it. It's like a little school toolbox, or at least that's how I use it. So I have like extra pens and paper clips and whatever these are called, binder clips. I have a couple of bookmarks. I left most of my bookmarks at home because I'm only going to be reading like 3 books at a time at most. I don't need too many bookmarks, even though this is another bag of bookmarks, but we're going to pretend we didn't see that. And then I have all my pens and highlighters, a calculator, and some sticky note tabs, because I want it to be like, if I ever want to study in the living room, I can just grab this and have everything I could possibly need to study with all in one place, and I like that. Or really study anywhere if I just want to study outside, because you see, if you can see, there's like, it's kind of hard to tell. I would have to take all this down to get the blinds up, but we kind of have, I live in an apartment, or townhouse more accurately, and so we kind of have a backyard, so I could always lay out a blanket and study in our pseudo backyard. But just a pan over from the other side, and yeah, so that's basically all my room. I kind of rushed because I didn't want my computer to run out of charge. I just have a sticky note of a reminder on my wall because I don't own enough whiteboards to actually write reminders, I guess. I don't know. But if you're going to college soon, I highly recommend getting something to loft your bed. Or just living in an apartment in general. Recommend an ottoman because they are storage units that double as chairs. And will this fit? We can make it fit. And I don't know what's better than that. I love things with multiple uses. It can be a chair, it can be a desk. This giant tub is another thing I got from my cousin that I hold all my dishware in because the kitchen isn't big enough. Also some just collapsible, foldable containers, whatever you would call these bins I keep blankets in, that I got from Walmart. And I have another one that I have more bug spray, bottle cleaner, Febreze, extra water bottle, this old keyboard that I need to throw out because it broke, and just some extra school supplies like journals, paper, an old lab book that I never finished because I no longer do STEM, a binder filled with a lined paper, and you can't tell, it's too dark back there, but I have another one of these giant bins. So this is kind of like a realistic apartment tour because I'm not that aesthetic, as you probably see, because these ugly giant yellow bins probably aren't your choice of organization, but I have a lot of stuff to hold and that just works the best for me. I also recommend getting one of these, a freezer bag, again just from Walmart. I don't remember how much these cost because my mom bought me a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I can't tell them the tag, but I shop at Aldi a lot and they don't give grocery bags, so this really helps. And just to reduce on using grocery bags in general, I have another tote bag that isn't a freezer bag, again from my cousin. which was just a TK Maxx bag that she just had. But I also use that for grocery shopping because, yeah, reduce the use of plastic, and it just helps carry stuff because I don't have a car, so it works out for me to have bags to carry my groceries since I'm gonna have to lug it onto the bus. But I also have this giant tub of food that I keep under my bed because, again, not a lot of space in the kitchen, and there's just some snacks that I like to have on hand in my room. I have peanut butter Richards. It's my favorite peanut butter because it's just peanuts. I don't really like all the extra stuff, and I can add my own salt if I need it. And, ooh, can we focus? Certified, woman-owned. It's supposed to be healthy for you. I just like peanut butter. I also have like some almonds that I got from Aldi. I got the peanut butter from Walmart. Because the Aldi peanut butters can also be natural, but it's also expensive. Some granola from Aldi, soybean spaghetti, some rice cakes from Walmart. Most of my stuff is from Walmart, if you're wondering. But there's just some snacks and extra food that I couldn't fit downstairs, because literally the only thing I have for my space in the kitchen is a little bit of counter space for my knives and cooking utensils and stuff like that, and some space for just one shelf in our pantry, so not a lot of room. Some magnets. I just got a little fridge. This was from back when I used to live in the dorms, but I'm happy I have it now. And it comes with a little freezer. I have some tofu frozen in there. I have to eventually defrost and use. I have some leftover food that I got from when I visit my parents. This is my little bento lunch box, pseudo bento. It's not really a real bento box, but that's what they call it at Walmart. Just so I can bring my lunch to campus when I have work, because all my classes are online because of the world ending, but I still have to go to work. And just some random food. Got a giant thing of salad, a tomato for my giant thing of salad, lemon juice because I drink a lot of tea, carrots. There's no organization to this. Like I said, not very aesthetic. I also have an air purifier because in the times we live in, that is necessary. There's not much to say about the bathroom. Like I said before, I feel like it's kind of gross. I don't know. Bathrooms in general, I just have regular stuff. Try to use a more natural deodorant that I think still has a kick to it, instead of making my own and then fearing I smell all day. I think the Arm & Hammer is natural and free of aluminum and stuff, but still covers any stench you may have. But I want to find an antiperspirant, is that how you pronounce it? That's also natural. And then that's pretty much it. Lotion, face wash, conditioner spray. I recommend Palmer's if you have thick curly hair, because I feel like it helps my hair stay moisturized longer, and it doesn't have all the sulfates and perfumes and stuff that hurt your hair. So I recommend that. Even if you don't have thick curly hair, I do recommend finding shampoos and conditioners and stuff that don't have perfumes and stuff. But I have a hook on my door just to hang out my casual jacket, rain jacket. It's actually cold jacket, which is another thing I took from when I was in the dorm, and I just kept a lot. So if you're moving into an apartment and you don't know what you need, a lot of the dorm stuff that you may already own can work well. Because another example is in my closet. I have, oh, it's so dark in here, but I have a little shoe holder thing. I don't know if you can tell that I still keep my shoes on, along with some clothes in my iron. Oh, also, I keep my bag on a coat hanger, at my little purse because it just helps it stay out of the way, and it's just a good place for my closet. So I also recommend that. But that's pretty much it for my apartment tour. I don't really have any more tips because I feel like it's really up to you. I just recommend making the place comfortable. For now, like, I really wanted my room to be comfortable since this is where I spend most of my time, because this is now my school as well. So I really like having a clear desk space, but you have to kind of figure out what you want. I like it clear but functional, so like, I want my pens nearby, sticky notes nearby and stuff, but not too much clutter. Like, usually I don't have this on my desk, it's just that it's charging right now. Usually it's in my book bag, which is my closet, so whenever I do go to campus I already have my tablet with me, and I usually put the charger in my book bag as well. But I do have a little charging station. That's another must-have for living in an apartment or even a dorm, as a power strip just in case, and there may not be a lot of plugs too. Also, I kind of panned over this really quickly, but I have the Nintendo Switch Lite. I got this little case, I think from Amazon, and the only game I own for it is Animal Crossing, and I don't mind that at all, because that's the only game I need to play. I'm not a big gamer, and I love that game so much, and please play with me because I'm so lonely and bored. I tried to go for like a blue, gray, black aesthetic, which didn't last. I tried to go for that in my dorm and it didn't ever work, and now I kind of going for it now, and I have also like gray sheets and like a darker blue sheets, so it's always something of that color. But honestly, if this tour hasn't told you anything, I'm not that aesthetic, and you don't have to be. Like, I feel like they show all these tours and everything looks so nice, and honestly that's not necessary. You just have to go for what works for you, what's functional for you, and what do you like, and not necessarily is this like an Instagram dorm bedroom, something people would want to show and publicize. It doesn't matter, it just has to be something comfortable for you. Electric kettles are also good to have, and reusing mason jars. And I do mean reusing. I don't understand why people waste money buying new ones when, if you make pasta, actually I get buying ones if you really want a mason jar and you don't eat pasta or something else that comes in a mason jar. But if you do eat pasta and you have pasta sauce, you just got a mason jar and pasta sauce, so why would you buy a new one? I don't know. And I can do a full shelf tour later, but more shelves. I got a little TARDIS. I'm a Doctor Who fan, if you couldn't tell. And another thing from a book box. I don't even know what it is. I think it's soap. Oh yeah, it's bath salt, inspired by The Little Mermaid. And then these are my school books. I'm an English major with a minor in global health that I just deleted because I'm not sure if I actually want to do a minor in global health. I have a bunch of British literature books, another art book, a book from a book box, so many books. This is even half the books I own. American literature book, some stuff about writing characters and writing plots and fictional stories, and a happiness jar, which I didn't even take the label off of this one, but I recommend making a happiness jar. This can just be in a plastic cup, can be in anything, doesn't need to be in a mason jar. But I use this to just write down on little sticky notes or index cards or scraps of paper, anything, even like old receipts you just have laying around if you're like trying to conserve the use of paper. And I just write good things that happened during the year. I'm trying to open it with one hand. So I usually don't look at these until after the year ends, but see, I just have a little scrap of paper I'm sure you can't read my handwriting, but it has the date on it, and then I went on a school trip. You can't, my handwriting's atrocious, but that's what it says. And that was like just a happy memory for me, so I put this in the jar. And I usually read them all at the end of the year because it actually really helps. This may be too much information, but I kind of struggle with depression, so it's so easy to see all the bad things that happen. Even if you don't struggle with anything, I feel like it's so simple to see the bad things that happen in the world, and you can sometimes overlook the good things. So I try to make note of that, so when I see the jar filled at the end of the year, I'm like, oh yeah, good things did happen this year, and it's not all bad. But now I'm kind of rambling. If you want anything more in depth, I'm happy to share. I also always keep my keys on a lanyard because I'll lose them if they're not on something bulky. And I hang them on my door because I'll forget to grab them if they're not around my neck or on the door. And then just the hallway and down the stairs is where you see that little bit of light. I have nothing on my door. I meant to make a sign. I actually have a sign for my door. I know it's kind of closing out, but I just remembered it. Which is something else you can do. It's like to make a sign for your door, whether you live in a dorm or an apartment with roommates. It can be fun. But this is my little sign. My mom sewed this for me when I went off to college. I thought that was nice. She did a little DNA thing because I was a bioengineering major, and then I was too many majors, but that used to apply. So also don't be afraid to change your major. But yeah, I should close this out because I'm rambling and I never know what to show while I'm rambling, so I just keep panning over the room and then thinking of something else. So I'm sorry. This is the most unorganized, unaesthetic room tour, but still I hope you enjoyed. Bye.